a lot of people don't know where this is. I mean, once they're here, they know where it is, but time and again I meet people wandering around the south bank of the River Thames, this area, and they say, "Where's the tunnel?" I say, "It's right there in front of you." But you can't see it unless you're in it, and then you don't need to ask because you know where you are. These stairs have some strange material in the metal which they put in to avoid corrosion, which stings the soft pads of dogs' paws. And so sometimes you're going up the stairs and there's this chow soft whack going down the stairs, and the dog looks so imperious because it knows it's reached a point in its evolution where it doesn't need to walk anymore. There's a human being, there's a biped who is going to carry it through the tunnel underneath Father Thames, which, were it to penetrate through these tiles, would drown us. But all of this tunnel, this seemingly solid mass of clay behind it, is entirely in my mind. Karl Popper, he defined what science really is. What is the core, what is the essence of science? And it is very simple. Science is focused on falsifiability. If someone puts forward a proposition or a statement that is supposedly scientific, Karl Popper would say, is there some experiment that we can do that could yield a false result or a true result? For example, let's consider the hypothesis that when I get to the top of this tunnel, it'll be raining. I can test this hypothesis by going up to the top and seeing if it's raining. If I find it is raining, then the hypothesis is true and it's valid. If it's false, the hypothesis is wrong. Now, let us consider the question, the hypothesis, supposed hypothesis, that it's raining now while I'm still down the tunnel. Well, I'm down the tunnel, I can't observe it upstairs. So, under Karl Popper's notion, it's not a falsifiable theory. There's no experiment I can do while I'm down here to test what's going on up there. So, there's no scientific question about it. So that comes forth from the imagination. We think that there could be a reality out there, but that is just us fooling ourselves. We conjure up an imaginary world beyond our senses, and we fool ourselves. We project solidity into that imagined world, but that projection doesn't make it any more real. There was a great controversy in the 18th century about how we perceive distance. Some of the naive notions were that light emits out of the eyes in Aristotle's theory, bounces off things and comes back again. Other people felt that somehow we just sensed distance. Berkeley was the first systematic philosopher who said distance is perceived purely by the cues. If I look down this tunnel, then what I'm actually seeing is a two-dimensional array of light and shapes. But I know, because it's a tunnel, that what seems like just a small circle is really a large tunnel, a large cylinder I can walk into. And this was Berkeley's central point, that what we seem to see as a reality around us is a construct. That is a flat surface. Your computer screen is a flat surface. You are seeing your own mind projecting into it a three-dimensional shape. And the same is true of everything around you. The room, the universe, the planet, the galaxies, all of it is in your mind. Space is an expression of a capacity for movement. Space is a way of encapsulating our movements, how my legs move, how my torso moves through this imagined space. Were I dreaming now, were this a dream that you are watching, I would have a dreamed three-dimensional space, a dreamed gravity holding me down. I'd have a dreamed body that through dreamed muscular actions moves through the imagined space. and none of it would have any reality outside of my mind. But this space into which I'm now walking, into your screen, is no more real than my dream space. And the echoes you hear are no more real than the momentary lapse of sound in your mind. Inside your consciousness, there is nothing more than what we have here and now in my imagined movement through seeming three-dimensionality. We are, in short, inside an intelligent fabric, a matrix of tunnel-like constructs that some superior mind, a cosmic consciousness, has woven together, the warp and weft of which is the universe that physicists discover with their little symmetries, asymmetries, and laws and regulations of movement of mass, and how one electron moves the same as every other electron. How very curious that one electron in Alpha Centauri knows how the electron moves on planet Earth. Whoa, what telepathy between elementary particles could allow them to move in perfect synchrony? No, there is only one electron, and that is the electron in the mind of God, and he projects outward into our consciousness all these chimera, these illusions of multiple particles. Really, these particles have no hair. The electron has no hair. It has no details. It has no intrinsic qualities. It is a mere cipher. It exists in our world only by virtue of its extrinsic relations, how it relates to other particles, how the electron goes towards a proton. But there's no specificity. There's no individuality. I, for example, as a conscious being, have hair. Voila! I am an individual. I have detail. The electron, no. There's nothing there other than its relationships. And yet, we are led to believe, we are asked to believe, that this universe, this reality, consists of electrons and protons and neutrons, all of which are mere ciphers of nothingness. And so we emerge from the claustrophobic confines of philosophy and metaphysics and Berkeley's imagined universe into the darkness of real life, where we have no longer the lucidity of clear thinking, but must make do with the murky solidity of our solid walls, which are impenetrable, confine, cabin and constrain us. So we must live in this illusory world, where we no longer have the clear linear vision of the metaphysician, but mere obscure worldliness.